Welcome and welcome back to the channel that simplifies the stock market. In this video, I'm going to be showing you two solid companies that you can buy in the stock market today so you can start earning some passive income. You know, the dividend payments, earning cash while you sleep. Now, in my portfolio, I don't only make money just off of dividends, but they do help in terms of my overall performance. So the two companies that I want to show you are AT&T and OneMain Holdings. Now, for each of these companies, we'll look at how much they'll pay you for each share that you buy and own. So what's the dividend? We'll look at how much it'll cost you to buy one share in each of these companies so we can then calculate what's called the dividend yield. And then we'll give a rating to see how likely it is that each of these companies will actually be able to pay you the dividend that they say they will. Because this is the stock market, this is investing, and there are no guarantees. It'll do you well if you remember that. So first, let's look at AT&T. I know it's been a while since I've drawn on the board, but anyway, for each share of AT&T that you own within the next year, you'll get paid around $2.08. And this is the cash payment that AT&T will pay to you for being part owner. This is a dividend. Now, there are some important things that you need to understand about the dividend. They don't pay you this $2.08 all at once. Different companies have different policies for how much they'll pay you, so on and so forth. This is what AT&T will do, and a lot of companies do it this way. The year in business is chopped up into quarters. We'll say that each of these are quarters, and a quarter is 3 months. So 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. So every 3 months for the next 12 months, AT&T will give you 52 cents per share. And these added up will amount to $2.08. And these 52-cent payments are for each share that you own of AT&T. So let's say in this quarter, if you own 10 shares of AT&T, you multiply 52 cents times 10 shares, and it'll give you $5.20. Now, if we take a step back and look at the total cash payment that we'll receive from AT&T within 1 year, is $2.08. And let's say that we own 10 shares of AT&T. So we'll say that times 10. So within a year, you receive $2.08 times the 10 shares that you own, and you'll get $20.08 within that year. It's simple, right? Now, this is how much you have to pay to get this $2.08 dividend. So each share of AT&T costs $30.07, and that's how much you'll have to pay to get this dividend. And now that we have the dividend and the stock price, we can calculate the dividend yield. Now, the dividend yield is expressed as a percentage, and it shows the dividend amount relative to the stock price. So this is how you calculate it. You take the dividend amount and you divide it by the stock price. And then from here, you'll get 0.069. And you multiply this by 100 to get the percentage. So 6.9%. So basically, if you bought AT&T today and you held on to it and you didn't sell it, then you'll get a 6.9% return on your investment in the next 12 months. And that's passive income. You don't have to work for it. You just buy the stock. And as long as you continue to own it and not sell, you'll get paid. If they can actually make the dividend payment, which is the next topic of discussion. How likely is AT&T to pay you what they say they will? So let me break this down to you. AT&T has paid and increased its dividend for over 30 years in a row. So, you know, it's not guaranteed, but it's looking pretty good. And also, let's look at their cash flow statement really quickly, just to make sure we'll be good. Now, this is AT&T's cash flow statement pulled up in Yahoo Finance. So in the trailing 12 months, they had $27.4 billion in free cash flow. And this is billions because these numbers aren't thousands. Now, when we expand the financing cash flow, we see that they spent $16.9 billion in order to cover their dividend payments and spent $8.02 billion to cover their debt payments. So I feel pretty good about their ability to pay their dividend. Now, recently, AT&T had to take on a lot of debt to be able to keep up with the 5G race. So it's just something to keep an eye on. But as for the likelihood that they'll be able to pay you this dividend, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Yep. Now let's look at OneMain, ticker symbol OMF. And just like with AT&T, the first thing we'll look at is the dividend amount that they'll pay you. Now you saw the Yahoo Finance amount of $7.06 per share. But I really don't want you to bank on this number for this reason. It says right here that OMH intends to pay its minimum quarterly dividend of 45 cents per share. And OMH's dividend payments may change from time to time, and the board of directors may choose not to declare dividends in the future. So instead of this figure, we'll look at 45 cents per quarter, which is $1.80 for the year, because that's what they said is going to be the minimum. I don't know about you, but I like to be pleasantly surprised rather than disappointed. If I get more than this amount, then cool. And as a disclaimer, OMF has already paid out a dividend this year to me and all other shareholders. It was on February 17th, and they paid $3.95 per share. So they've actually already paid me much greater than this amount. But this is what we're going to use. Now, if you bought OMF today, it'll cost you $54.06, giving it a dividend yield of $1.80 divided by $54.06 equals 3.3%. Now, this is not quite as high as AT&T, but remember, this is the minimum. It could be much higher than this. We just want to have safe expectations. Now, as for how likely it is that they'll pay you this dividend rating, this one is a bit different in that OneMain Holdings is merged with OneMain Financial. Now, OneMain Holdings has many companies under its umbrella, but the main company that it gets its cash from to be able to pay the dividend is OneMain Financial. So we really need to see how capable of making the cash payment to OneMain Holdings OneMain Financial is. Yeah. But to keep it simple, OneMain had free cash flow of $2.2 billion in the last 12 months. And when we expand the financing cash flow, we see that dividends amounted to $806 million. But this is with them paying you an amount much greater than $1.80 per share. So as for how likely it is that they'll be able to pay this $1.80 dividend, seven out of 10. So again, two solid companies that you can buy in the stock market today if you want to start earning some passive income. AT&T and OneMain Holdings. And if you want to see how I break down and analyze a company before I actually decide to buy, you can look at this video right here.